Good morning, guys. This is Rich over Mr. Guns Firearms right here in Cave Creek, Arizona. I wanted to do another installation on my series of NFA submissions and the progress. We are day 7 of 2026, that being 1/7/2026. So far, we've done 3 submissions. One has come back within a 72-hour time period. Yesterday, I did 2 more submissions for one individual. Now, for those of you who don't know, that requires 2 separate submissions, one for each suppressor. You can't put multiple suppressors on forms. You put one on one form, you put one on another form. Sometimes they'll come back at the same time. Sometimes they'll come back at different dates. You have no control over that. There's no rhyme or reason for it. It's all dependent upon how it gets through the process. So we went and performed the submissions yesterday, and it took about 2 hours for 2 submissions. We did that mid-afternoon. I want to say it was about 12, 1 o'clock, something like that. And you have to take a lot of things into consideration, right? What's your internet speed like? What's going on at eForms? What's going on at the NFA? Like, what could possibly be jamming up your submission process? Now, the first one we did, I want to say we got like maybe 2 errors, which requires repeated attempts to submit it. And those errors happened at the end. That one went through, and then the second one was even more difficult. So the second one took longer than the first one. Again, there's no rhyme or reason to any of this stuff. Like, you just think, you know, click, 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 here it goes. It's going through the system, no problem, right? So what I want to do with you guys is do an actual live submission. And being a dealer, there's a lot of unknowns with like NFA, right? If you haven't ever done NFA stuff before, you know, people talk about class 3 and nobody knows about class 2. And then everybody talks about, well, I have to have a license for that. No, you as an individual do not have to have a license for anything. You have to have a tax stamp. That is what you get when you submit your suppressor and they approve it for you to own. So it's no longer a tax stamp. Now it's just a stamp, right? So when you get your email saying, yes, you're approved, you print out that approval form and you keep that with you at all times with the item, whether it's SBR, SBS, AOW, suppressor. You have to have that with you. So if you are shooting that item, you have to have the paperwork with you. If you have multiple items, basically what my recommendation is, if you have multiple items, I make a copy of the original approval form, the original Form 4, and I put it in a book. I have a steel 3-ring binder that has everything in it. It has all the machine guns, it has all the suppressors, and I take that with me whenever I take even just one thing. That way, if I'm at the range, or I get pulled over, or I get in an accident, or, you know, whatever, you want to cover your bases like when it comes to this stuff, because you want to make sure that you are 100% legal at all times and not give them any excuses for taking your guns, your suppressors, coming to your house, sicking the IRS on you, or whatever, okay? So, being a dealer, I'm an 0702, and I know that other dealers have discussed this in their videos. 07 is a manufacturer of firearms. 02 is the tax stamp, the SOT rather, the special operations tax that goes along with an 07. If you are an 01, you are a dealer in firearms. And the 03, or class 3, as everybody likes to be familiar with, that's the only thing that anybody's familiar with, 03 goes along with 01, 02 goes along with 07. So I am an 02. Now, when I buy suppressors, when I buy NFA items for the shop, they belong to the shop. Now, I own the shop, but those items do not belong to me if I close the shop. So what I have to do as a dealer, if I want certain items, this belongs to the shop. I want to take this home. I want to keep this. I have to do a Form 4. Personally, I have to do a Form 4 for this. I have to do a Form 4 for this, because when I close the shop, it's going to read Mr. Guns on the Form 4. It's actually on a Form 3. To get a Form 4, to get this on a Form 4, I have to fill out, Richard Warrington, I have to fill out a Form 4 and get it approved for me. So what I'm thinking about doing is I want to get you guys screen in the video so you can see exactly what you go through when you do a submission. Whether it's a Form 1 for yourself, or a Form 2 for me as a dealer, or a Form 3 dealer to dealer, or a Form 4 dealer to you. That way you can see what we go through as dealers when we do these submissions. Now, it's not always the same. I mean, some operations, I know for a fact that, like, there's a large dealer down south here, and they specialize in certain things. And they're regularly making claims about, like, how quickly their forms are coming back. Well, if you're doing, you know, multiple submissions all the time, the ATF is probably, the NFA branch of the ATF is going to give you additional consideration, because otherwise that stuff's just going to back up, right? We don't know what they did with budget. We don't know what they did with hiring new staff, if they did any. But, you know, small guys like me, I get put at the bottom of the pile. So when I have to submit things for SBRs, or I have to submit things, Form 4s for customers, it's probably not, you know, taking a great priority. So the fact that we got customer number 1's form back quickly, you know, really it changed my mind a lot about what's going to happen moving forward with these forms, because there's a lot of things that the shop owns that I'm probably going to take home, you know, whether or not, as long as the shop's open. So I need to get those things in my name, right? So I will take you through that process. I will log into eForms. You'll see the screens. I'm going to go into the next screen and pick the form. And then they have what's called train stops, they like to call them. You know, how cute. So you go this one, and then you put in the transferee, and then the transferor, and then you put in the law enforcement, and then and you can see how long each one of those steps takes. Because I know I've been complaining a lot about this, but it really is a massive effort. So when guys want to charge you $125 for an NFA transfer fee, trust me, we're earning that money, because if I can't do anything else except for that. I'm not selling guns. I'm not selling ammo. I'm not doing ordering. I'm not shipping guns. And for me, as a one-man operation, I have got to be able to get compensated for the time that I'm standing at the computer waiting for the government to respond. I'll tell you one thing. You know what government website works really well? The IRS. Anyhow, that's my rant for today. I want to thank everybody who's been watching this series. I don't have any new news beyond that, but I hope that you guys like and subscribe. And if you're subscribed, stay tuned for me doing that submission, because then you'll see what we go through as dealers in order to get your paperwork in so that you can get your items. And trust me, we want you to get them as quickly as possible. And to the guy who left the comment about, am I Maduro? That's for me to know and you to find out. Have a great day, guys. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. Bad_shooters. See ya.